Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a massive, fundamental shift in how artificial intelligence actually operates. We're talking about moving way past passive tools and into the realm of active problem solvers. And the blueprint leading that charge? It's the open source Hermes agent.
Seriously, I want you to just imagine this for a second. What if you could run your very own AI assistant that doesn't just chat with you, but literally thinks, plans, uses tools, and executes tasks entirely on its own? And the kicker? What if you could do all of that for free without relying on those super expensive, tightly controlled AI platforms? Well, that is the exact promise of open source AI agents.
So, to unpack all of this, our agenda today is going to cover meeting the Hermes agent, the evolutionary leap from simple chatbots, how this tech actually functions under the hood, the open versus closed source debate, and finally, some current challenges and what the future holds.
All right, let's jump right in. Section 1. Meet Hermes Agent and the dawn of open source autonomy.
Now, Hermes Agent isn't just another text generator. An open-source AI agent is a highly accessible, totally privacy-focused system uniquely capable of thinking, planning, and physically using digital tools to complete complex tasks autonomously. It operates completely independently, which frees you from those annoying recurring costs and data privacy headaches. Honestly, it's a massive paradigm shift in how we use everyday technology.
Moving on to Section 2. Chatbots versus autonomous agents and the evolutionary leap in AI.
So for the last few years, we've all gotten pretty used to traditional chatbots. But here's the thing, they're passive. It's kind of like having a talking encyclopedia sitting on your desk. You ask a question, it answers, and then, well, it just stops. An autonomous AI agent like Hermes, on the other hand, is active. Think of it like a highly capable employee who actually takes initiative. You give it an overarching goal and it just figures out the multi-step problem solving required to get you there.
Okay, Section 3. How Hermes Agent works. Let's look under the hood of AI autonomy.
An agent like Hermes goes way beyond just parsing text. It works to actually understand your end goals. And once it does, it plans tasks and breaks massive, overwhelming problems down into manageable little steps. But here's where the real magic happens. It can use external tools and APIs. Like it can literally open a web browser, scrape a pricing table, and drop it straight into a spreadsheet for you, or interact with your other software. And it does all this while managing its own memory so it never loses track of the big picture.
This requires a continuous, step-by-step workflow loop. First, the agent receives your objective. Second, it creates a detailed, logical plan. Third, it actually executes those actions using its tools. And fourth, and this is absolutely vital, it evaluates the results. If things didn't quite work out, it adjusts its strategy and loops right back around until your initial goal is completely achieved.
The tech stack making all of this possible is an absolute powerhouse. At the center, large language models provide the core intelligence, but they're supercharged by specific tool calling capabilities to interact with the outside world. It also relies on complex memory systems and retrieval-augmented generation, or RAG, to pull in highly relevant, up-to-date information exactly when it needs it. And finally, autonomous feedback loops allow it to self-correct in real time. Pretty wild, right? When you put all that tech together, the potential use cases are just staggering. It can be your tireless research assistant that scours the internet and compiles a market report while you're fast asleep. It can act as an automated coding buddy that doesn't just point out your bugs, but actually writes the fix and tests it for you. Or it can even become a customer support powerhouse, completely independently resolving complex, multi-step user issues.
Let's pivot to Section 4, open source versus closed, and the battle for data and control.
When you compare the two approaches side by side, the differences are pretty stark. With closed AI platforms, the platform ultimately controls your data. But with Hermes, you own it completely. Closed platforms restrict you to their specific API limits, whereas Hermes gives you massive customization power because you have total access to the code. You're also looking at expensive monthly subscriptions versus dramatically lower operating costs. And lastly, closed platforms are basically black boxes, meaning you have no idea how they make decisions. Open source gives you complete glass-box transparency.
These open source characteristics result in some massive real-world advantages for us. You get supreme privacy,
mainly because your sensitive data never even has to leave your servers. You get maximum flexibility to tweak the agent to fit your exact business logic. Because it's open, you benefit from thousands of developers constantly driving faster innovation. And honestly, most importantly, you achieve complete vendor independence. You are never, ever locked into a massive tech company's ecosystem.
All right, final section, Section 5, Challenges and the Future. Time for a reality check and a look at what's next.
Now, we absolutely have to acknowledge the serious limitations of where we are right now. This isn't exactly plug and play just yet. Running your own autonomous agent involves a pretty complex initial setup and some heavy hardware requirements for local computing power. You're also going to face intermittent reliability issues, like an agent might get stuck in a loop or hallucinate a completely bad plan. Plus, because they can execute code, there are very real security concerns. So at this stage, human supervision is an absolute necessity. You can't just set it and forget it entirely.
But despite those current hurdles, the trajectory is undeniably clear. Open-source AI agents are fundamentally poised to reshape software development. We're rapidly moving towards a world where humans act a lot more like managers, guiding teams of specialized digital AI agents. This is going to bring unprecedented levels of automation to businesses of all sizes, not just the massive tech giants with deep pockets.
So as we wrap up, I want you to consider this final thought. When this technology becomes just a little bit easier to set up and you can finally put your very own private digital employee to work, how is an autonomous open-source AI agent going to change your own daily workflows? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.